Hi, it's nice to have you on this platform again. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Okay, for the past 2 months, we've laid a foundation for the topic we are going to be starting this week. And so we are going to be looking at relationship talk or topics on relationship for the next 2 months. But I believe that before we can even talk about relationship, you must have discovered yourself and you must have a purpose. You must have known the purpose for your life and existence before we talk about relationships. So if you haven't watched the previous videos on this platform, please make sure you watch it so that we lay a better foundation on the topic we are going to be listening to now. Okay, what the preferred topic of this message is now that you are single. There is this. I just want to explain better on what singleness and loneliness means because sometimes we tend to take the two for the same thing, but actually it's not. Most times we take singleness for loneliness, but we must understand that singleness and loneliness are not the same. So then, what is singleness? What do we mean by singleness? Singleness is a state of being single. Okay, then to be single in these terms means to be unmarried, either for a moment or permanently. Some people decide that I don't want to marry, and some people say, okay, I will marry at this particular time. Okay, some people may say marriage is compulsory, everybody has to marry, is the commandment of the Lord. Okay, we will get to know if that is true or not. All right, according to the book of First Corinthians chapter 7, I will be reading from verse 1 to 2. Say, now for the matter you wrote about, it is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman. But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but heed to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, and heed to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourself to prayer. Then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I say this as a concession, not as a command. I wish that all of you were as I am, but each of you has your own gift from God. Each one has the gift, another has another that. Okay, so here we could see that Paul was saying, Paul himself is not married, and if you feel if you feel his destiny, it used to be funny to me why some people may think that marriage is their destiny. They have to be married before they fulfill destiny. That is not actually true. But then, don't let me jump beyond myself. Maybe we'll still talk about that later on. You see, the state of singleness, that is a state where you have not yet married, never affects someone to fulfill purpose. It never affects you to fulfill purpose. Either you're single, rather it aids one to fulfill purpose. When you are single, I can tell you it's the best time for you to discover your purpose and for you to start living your purpose before you are even married. There are so many things that you can and you should achieve in the state of your singleness. When you are married, it becomes difficult. Now there are bills to pay. Now there are your wife seeking your attention, your husband is seeking your attention, and in-laws and many other things can confuse you and can put you in the state of just living. So, and that is the reason why it is important that you must have discovered your purpose. You must have started working. And okay, I will still talk about the concept of work maybe later on in this video, but maybe in the next couple of months. Okay, so you see, marriage is not anybody's destiny. When you say I must marry to fulfill my destiny, it's not true. It's not true. You see, Jesus never married, and if you fulfill his purpose, Okay, Paul that we read his book never married and he fulfilled his purpose, and some couple of other people. Okay, you see, it is one marriage in fulfillment of your purpose. Your marriage will either aid the fulfillment of your purpose in as much you or you on yourself on your own understand what purpose is and you are pursuing it, and then you explain it to your spouse, and it they in accord you help each other to fulfill it. But marriage in itself does not have the capacity to fulfill any man's destiny for him. Did you get that now? Okay, so one of the questions we are going to be treating on the singles platform this week is how long should someone who intend to marry be single? How long should it take you to be single if you intend to marry? And you can also put your comment on the comment box if you like to give us an answer to that. It will help some people. Okay, but well, let me just give an hint of my own idea on that question. Is that the answer is not really about years. It's not about chronos. It's about fulfillment. You must have start fulfilling the essence of your singleness before you are married. Okay, but then let's spend that for further discussion. Okay, but let's talk about, we say we want to talk about singleness and loneliness, and I want us to understand what really singleness means, and then we should have a better understanding of that. Okay, and what you should be doing while you are single. So let's look at things you should have achieved while you are single. Things you should have achieved, or things you should achieve when you are single. Okay, one of the reasons why many people are frustrated in marriage is that they have not discovered themselves, and they want to use marriage to achieve what they should have achieved when they are single. And is an angle of frustration, and the reason being that you are trying to find yourself, you are trying to know yourself, you are trying to know your spouse, and now children comes in and all of that. And more reason why you must have achieved some things before you are married. One of the things you must have achieved before you are married is that you must find God, and I will explain all of this later as we move on. You must know yourself, and you must have discovered purpose, build it, develop it, and start living in your purpose. And really is more like a backlog of what we have said before, but I will just say some things around it. When I said you must have found God, if you haven't discovered God before marriage, you are in for trouble. Okay, you see, I'm not talking about religion here, because religion is another thing on its own, and it has its own problem on its own. Okay, so but I'm saying you must have discovered God. Okay, marrying people of different religion has its own great problem, and that's the reason why people we advise you not to do that. Okay, like Christians marrying Muslim, and a Muslim marrying an atheist, or a Christian marrying somebody that doesn't even believe in God. It has its own great problem. Okay, and even marrying a person of the same religion, your belief and doctrine may be different, maybe perhaps because of denominational differences. Okay, and some people prefer solution to this is that marry somebody from your denomination. Well, it has its obvious advantage, but nevertheless there are so many disadvantages to it also. Okay, but the ultimate is this: you must know God by yourself. You must know God by yourself. Okay, and this will be the best help you will give yourself. Knowing yourself, knowing God by yourself, how to relate with God. It helps you to understand how to relate with God, and even to man. Okay, in this case, okay, let's look at this case now. Okay, the best way you know God, and the best way you know God is through His Word. If we let's give this example. if a lady believe that all she has is of God, all she has, her time, her money, her resources, he believe that it belongs to God, which is biblically correct, and she marries a man who do not have that understanding, there will be problem in that marriage. Okay, because the man believe that, oh, see, we cannot give this much to God, or you cannot, you see, your time, or this, that, and all of this. Okay, this is why you must have find God before anything else, even before marriage, and make sure the person you are about to get married to have found God himself, not religion. I'm trying to explain this better, that when I'm talking about finding God, I'm not talking about finding religion, because religion in itself has presented God to us in a way that is that it doesn't really represent God. Okay, religion, for instance, religion has limited God to the confinement of a building. Okay, they tell you, you have to come to the church, for instance, every time, in order to seek God, whereby God says, I am in you. So, and you don't even, and if you get married to a person that believe in that idea that, oh, we must go to church, we must attend all the services, there is one prayer meeting, there is one this meeting, there is one deliverance meeting. See, and if you and then if the person you are, your spouse to be, does not believe in that, you tend to take the person that is not spiritual. Okay, it is good, which is not okay. Am I saying that it's not good to go to services or pray or meetings? No, that's not it, because the Bible even encourages us not to forget the gathering of the brethren. The Bible encourages us not to forget the gathering of the brethren. Okay, so because it helps us to strengthen one another. Okay, so as I'm saying, you must discover God, you must know God by yourself, and the best way you can know God is through His Word, right? Okay, and another point, or one of the things you must do for yourself before you decide to get married, is you must know yourself. It's funny. What do you mean I must know myself? Is it that I don't know myself? Well, the question is, who are you? And the fact is, many people don't really know themselves, really. Okay, who are you? My name is this, and that is that all to who you are? Or I'm from this village. Is that really all to who you are? You see, to really discover yourself, you must discover God, and that's why we place God at first, and then you cannot know yourself outside God. Many people try to get the knowledge of themselves outside their manufacturer, and you cannot really succeed doing that. You see, God is your creator, and for you to find who you are, you must actually align with your creator. The word said you can choose. Okay, one of the confusion the word has actually bring is that, okay, you can actually choose your gender. I mean, some people some people don't even know their gender these days. We have different people who are men that are claiming to be woman, who are men that are claiming to be woman, and some people are saying, I'm not free right now, or something. I'm both man and I'm a woman, or bisexual. See, that is another problem. You see, but you see, that is not just only one area where many people are confused. That is just one area. Okay, many people are also confused in other areas of their life, and they don't really even know themselves. They have pretended to be many things that they have even eventually confused and convinced themselves to be who they are not. Okay, I'm a boss lady, I'm a macho man, or macho man, I'm straight, I'm gay, I'm a career man, I'm a career woman, or whatever you think you call yourself. When situation of life then batch at you, you feel, oh, this is not really me. You see, if you marry without discovering yourself, it will be difficult and almost impossible to discover yourself again. Now that you have another person you are trying to know, you see, no matter how long you date or you are in a relationship with somebody, you cannot fully know the person. I mean, you don't even know 5% of that person, really, because and now that when you are now married, you are trying to discover that person. And now, if unfortunately you have not really know yourself, how will you be able to succeed in that situation? And if God help you, you give birth 9 months after you are married. Now another child is there. You are trying to raise a child again. So more reason why you must have discovered who you are, what is my like, what is my nature, and all of that. And then you see, and you cannot do this successfully yourself, because only the creator know the purpose of his product. And since you are the product of God, only God knows you and who you are. So one way to get the manufacturer mind is through the manual. So you read the manual and let him tell you who he has made you. One. And then another way is through intimacy with the Holy Spirit. So you must, one, discover God. Two, know yourself. And three is that you must have discovered purpose. Build it, develop it, and start living in it. It is only a man in God's presence that can then discover his true purpose, because you can make use of your potential in a wrong way. But some have not found God, they have not found themselves, and they don't even know the purpose why they are here on earth, and they want to escape their singleness and get married because they are feeling lonely, or they think they need a companion or somebody they can call their own. You see, one of the reason, or the main reason why some people get into relationship or courtship or even marriage, is to solve the issue of loneliness. And let me say this ahead of time: marriage cannot solve your loneliness problem. Okay, what is loneliness? Let us start from there. Loneliness is an unpleasant emotional response to perceived isolations. Okay, another definition of loneliness is that negative feelings that arises when our social needs are unmet by the quantity and quality of our current social relationships. Okay, loneliness can also be said to be the state of distress or discomfort that result when one perceives a gap between one's desire for social connection and actual experience, according to psychological today definition. Okay, loneliness can also be is also a feeling of unwanted isolation or lack of connection, whether you are alone or surrounded by others. Okay, and that's one thing I want us to note. Okay, see, having somebody around you does not necessarily solve loneliness problem. You can be around people and still be lonely. Okay, the truth here is that no matter your definition of loneliness, marriage can't solve it. Rather, loneliness will destroy your marriage, because you can be married and still be lonely. And if your spouse does not know how to help you, which actually it even cannot help you, and I will tell you the reason why I think nobody can help you to solve your loneliness problem, because the fact is that you will be wanting your partner to give you much more than he can give. And if you are expecting it, he doesn't even know what you want. Oh, I want, and it will lead to a lot of things. See, loneliness is different from being alone. When you have people around you, you are not alone, right? Yet you can be lonely. Loneliness is an inner emptiness, and nobody can solve that problem for you. But you are the one that can decide not to be lonely when you have people around you or not. And that is one thing you must see. You must be intentional and deliberate to choose to live a life where nobody decided for you. Okay, let us talk about this. I want to jump some things from my note here, but then let's talk about reason why some people feel lonely. Why do people feel lonely? One of the reasons is that they are uncomfortable with themselves. Maybe perhaps, oh, I don't like my eyeball, I don't like the shape of my mouth, I don't like how my legs look, I don't like my buttocks, I don't like I have a pot belly, You see, when people feel uncomfortable with themselves, they are lonely, and when they are around people, they feel like, oh, this person is looking at my eyes. You see, have you ever seen somebody, people talking in the in amidst people, and they are covering their mouth with handkerchief? Perhaps if you notice very well, it could be maybe the person's lips is not that straight, or something is wrong with the person's teeth. And I mean, you don't have to do that. You see, another reason why people may feel lonely is that they need people approval to make them feel safe and feel safe. They want people to say, we have given the people the power to say, oh, you are wonderful. Oh, and then we want people to always comment on us. If people do not comment on us, then you feel like maybe something is wrong with me, or maybe I do not put on the right makeup, maybe my dress does not match itself. And you can't always live like that. And some other people is because they have less self-worth of themselves. You feel that, oh, I am not worthy to speak amidst these people, I am not worthy to be among these people. That's one of the reasons that cause loneliness also. And some people, they have no self-recognition. And you see, this can be rampant among people that feel that, okay, I am from a lowly background, and then I am now among the great, let me just humble myself. And rather, that is not even humility. So somebody, you say that is humility. Situation of life have actually controlled the way you behave. And some people, they have low self-esteem. See, I would like to kill this sacred cow while we are explaining this thing. Let me say this: there's nothing like the word that is my better half. That is something somebody may not want to hear. See, you are not anybody's better half, and nobody is your better half. Why do I say it? The Lord God made you a whole person. You are wholly made. If according to the book of Psalm chapter 139 verse 14, you are complete in yourself. You are not a half. You are a whole person. See, you don't need anybody to make you complete, safe, or secure. You have to love yourself and be secure in yourself, no matter how you look, no matter the way you think you are. That is one thing you must intend to do. See, this you can't find somewhere else. There's nothing wrong in being amidst people or wanting to marry, but not because you feel unsafe of yourself, not because you feel I'm not good enough. You are all. See, the thing is, what happened is, the concept is, okay, that we've heard over the years that when two people are coming together, you are going to become one. So it's half and half that is coming together that will become one. No, but it is two people that are coming together, one whole person, another whole person, that are coming together to become one. And one means they are complete in themselves. So you are complete in yourself. And the reason why you must not trust in man to take away your loneliness is that, let the whole world leave me, I am not alone. You must have that sense. You must have that mentality. You are not alone. You even go to the extent that I am not lonely. And that's why the Bible says, Christ in me, the hope of glory. You have Christ in you. You have a spirit in you. Colossians chapter 1 verse 17. Colossians chapter 1 verse 27 rather. You are not so, and I think it's the word of God that also says that one with God is more than majority. See, you should believe in yourself that you are complete with yourself, because that is it. Even if you place your wholeness on your spouse and your spouse does not have time for you, you still feel empty. And that's why you cannot decide to place your your onus on your spouse, or you cannot decide that your spouse should be the one that will feel your loneliness. Testimony, another reason that testimony of man are not always true. What people say about you are not necessarily always truth. Mark my word, always truth. There may be iota of truth in them sometimes, but they may not be. People can pretend, and they can be killing you behind and be smiling at you, or they can be telling good in your presence and be saying bad at your back, or vice versa. So, and that's why you cannot always trust a man about yourself. Oh, how do I look? What is your I want to do this project, what do you think about it? And you want the approval before you do it. Or I have a man, a toaster, I don't know, should I go ahead and marry? What do you think about it? You shouldn't always do that. Because testimony of man are not always true. And that's why Jesus said, my Father bear testimony of me. John chapter 8 verse 18. Man's loyalty always shifts. When men are loyal to you today, tomorrow they can decide not to be loyal to you. As a matter of fact, if people are loyal to you, because perhaps they have something they are getting from you. If the thing cease, you will see that they are not really loyal to you, they are loyal to the things they are getting from you. Jesus was the one that fed the people. He healed the sick, he did many miracles, and another day is these same people that were shouting, crucify him. And that's one reason you cannot always trust a man. Most people are confused of who they are. And who do you say the Son of Man is? And that's why Jesus asked them. See, if people that are confused, you are asking somebody that doesn't even know himself, you are asking him to tell you about yourself. You see, what answer do you want to get from this? Please people don't really have your time. Man generally are selfish people. I'm not talking about gender man, I'm talking about human beings. People are selfish on themselves. Have you to imagine? Sometimes, maybe perhaps when you go to an eatery or something, when you are eating, you feel people are looking at you, and nobody even have your time. And that's why you must be yourself. Marriage is the cause. I want to say another word that may offend somebody now, but then it's the truth. Marriage is the cause of the most miserable things on earth, divorce. Let me explain why I mean that. If you are not married, you cannot be divorced. If you are married, there is tendency for you to be divorced. And if you are divorced, there are so many things you may experience that are unlikely. I mean, you may see especially if you are divorced, you divorce somebody because maybe perhaps the person don't have money, and eventually the person gets to become rich. You feel you have lost, and many other things that divorce can cause people. But then, if you are divorced, there's still hope for you. Anyways, let me justify the statement I just made now by reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 7, from verse 25. You can just go and read that. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 25 to 28. It tell you that. But what I'm trying to say in all of this is that enjoy your singlehood. Now that you are single, it is a prime time of your life. Use it wisely, for it determines the life you will have when you are married. Use this time to prepare well for your marriage. If you do not use it well, you will not have a great marriage. Nobody prepare for war during war. We prepare for war before war. So prepare for your marriage while you are single. And so by knowing God, by knowing yourself, and walking in purpose. God bless you. See you next time.